There are some things left unanswered, which is basically the biggest question that I have been preaching about for a while now, and that is they really do not stand any chance against the gods, which, by the way, that is not supposed to be the fairy tale way. They're supposed to be invincible, and yet for some reason they're not this time. So I'm really beginning to ask myself, if they do not have the power to fight these dragon gods, then how are they going to get that power? Are they going to get the surprising power-ups which are going to make people complain even more? Or are they gonna somehow train? I guess the story will tell us. But this is me, the Angry Anime fan. Normally there's not a chapter this week because it's a golden week. But surprisingly, seeing that Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest follows a 2-week manga, it was supposed to be released this week. So I guess it still followed that despite being the golden week. But yeah, the 100 Year Quest chapter 24, a very informative chapter, which is good because we finally learned some things. Merakphobia learns that Ignia came here, and many things more. And he even learns that, and he even knew that Ignia was the son of Ignia. But then he also hears that Natsu was raised by Ignia, and puts 2 and 2 together, realizing that Ignia wants to fight Natsu. And since Natsu considers Ignia a bad seed, you have to punish him. But as I said before, Merakphobia says that he isn't someone you can defeat, and the same goes with all the dragon gods. I mean, as I said before, we already knew that. The fact that Merakphobia wasn't even in full power and they couldn't even scratch him just further proves that. So the question for me is then how are they gonna get that power? But of course that question is not answered, because instead Natsu says that we have decided that's what we'll work as a guild. And I mean, I guess it's not a 100-year quest for nothing, but I'm still wondering. I mean, granted, however, people can criticize the fact that Natsu is just saying that, despite the fact that they can't, but you also have to realize, Natsu is Natsu, people are people, and they have promised this. They're not going back. They are gonna do it. The biggest question right now is how they are going to get the power to do it. But they will, because that's the fairy tale way. So luckily we actually learned something this chapter. Merakphobia decides to tell what he knows about the dragon gods, although he hasn't met them, not all of them. First off is Ignia, the fire god, one who has destroyed countless of countries. The fact that Eliminia remains is a miracle. I guess that improves that, Ignia is someone who has to be killed. The next, though, is the wood dragon god, Alderon, someone who is called the biggest dragon in the world and can read people's minds with his power. The moon dragon god, Selene, a powerful dragon who uses the power of the stars. We don't learn the gender, but Selene sounds oddly feminine, if you ask me. Metal god Bitterness, who the dragon god has not met. But here's the thing, metal god, are we to assume that he is connected to, Gajiel's foster father? Nah, it probably will be too coincidental if it was. I mean, granted, iron can evolve into metal with the right amount of things. But still, I'm not really sure if they meant metal or something else. There's something one pointed actually out in the spoiler site. Apparently, water, fire, wood, moon, and metal are connected to the 5 days of Japan, or 5 holidays of Japan, and that is the connection between all of this. I was actually spewing the ideas, what is the connection? Is it somehow the the order of the things, but here is the connection. It is of the 5 different days, the fire day, the day festival, the the day festival. That is the connection. And the dragon gods are only gods in name only. I mean, yes, they are just that powerful, but they committed such bad deeds that people began to fear them. That is how they got the name of God. So they're not revered because they are powerful. They are revered as gods because people fear their power, which were gods. No wonder that Euphemia wants to have them destroyed. But still, they're not someone they can defeat. But that doesn't change the fact that they are going to go. As Team Natsu leaves, Merakphobia's assistant apologizes for everything happened. But Merakphobia just says that the water god has died, and the calamity on the city is gone now. Now living with the people, he is now officially a human. So now he is no longer water god. So now he is just Mörksama. And the next objective is the Gilantina continent, which is the location, supposedly, of the wood dragon god. As Merakphobia said, he hasn't met any of them in a long time. In fact, he has not even met the metal god. But the last thing he heard about the wood is here, and he is the largest dragon in the world. You know, that actually made me think of something. Wouldn't it be scary if it turns out that the wood dragon god is the Galantina continent? I mean, yeah, I know that sounds pretty unreasonable, but as I said before, Merakphobia said he is the largest dragon in the world, and he is wood. Very reminiscing of the Gaia myth. You know, Gaia, the Greek god of earth. No, not god, titan of earth that was close to the gods. And I mean close, I mean the power too close to the god. So is it possible that the wood dragon god is the continent, or at least is as large as an island? That could also be the thing. We don't know. All we do know is that the Team Natsu cannot stand any chance against them, but they have to. So they head out. Turns out Wendy and Natsu has erased the train to go there, because after all, they don't want to do that. But so they're gonna take to Tika city and then to the center of Gilatina. Well, lies there is the largest city, Drazil, a beautiful city like Crocus or something like that. And that is where the wood dragon god is. But if it's as large as a continent, then maybe it's not there. Either way, Lucy is worried about Natsu. And she thinks that with Natsu's fire, he should be able to burn the wood. But no, I don't think it's gonna be that easy. Still though, as Lucy is about to fall asleep, suddenly Natsu enters the tent and Lucy says to go. But he decides to scribble on her face along with everyone else. That because, well, everyone fell asleep. So yeah, they decides that they're gonna be okay. But what is next, I don't know. So yeah, that's basically this chapter, an information chapter, but it wasn't so bad to hear that. We don't know if any of these dragons are connected to the dragons of the Eclipse Gates. I mean, the dragon parents. As I said before, the metal dragon god, he could be connected to Gajiel's foster father. But Metallicana, yeah, sorry, I forgot his name. Metallicana, he could be, but his name, the metal dragon god, is not so sounding as Ignea. Ignea, I mean, is pretty connected to Igneal because of that name. Ignea is a destructive force, a blood knight. We don't know anything about the other gods yet. And then there is Diabolos in the background as well. Not to mention the white mage. So yeah, there's a lot of things Natsu and Team Natsu do not stand a chance against. How will they ever get this kind of power? Unless of course the wood dragon god is a good person and decides to train them in a certain way. We don't know. We just do not know. All we do know is what awaits us is either despair or hope. Give me your thoughts if you have any.